to My Waeguk Life, the podcast where we are all about discussing the foreigner experience in Korea,
as well as how professional life fits into that. As Waegukins, we are always trying to find a way
where there seems to be no way.
It's My Waeguk Life. Hello, welcome back to another week of My Waeguk Life. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Anna. This week we have an interview with Xandra from Rwanda. Last week we announced that going forward we would be changing up the Question of the Week segment and we will have some sad news.
Unfortunately, we're going to be short one host going forward, so we're going to need 2 or so weeks intermission to reorganize a little bit more than just the Question of the Week. But amongst this sad news, we still have to give you this reminder. This podcast is brought to you by The Bridge Global. Create your tomorrow.
If you have a specific freelance service you would like to share with others, but have no proper space to conduct business or manage projects,
or if you need to hire someone with a specific skill set, here's your official invitation to joining the LeBridge Global community. Visit www.lebridgeglobal.com to sign up today, or you can contact them at help@lebridgeglobal.com. Now it's time for the last interview we're going to be doing of 2018, even though by the time you hear this, it will already be 2019.
Our free talk segment this week is with Xandra. Hi, Xandra.
Hi, Anna.
Xandra.
Hi, Kelsey.
So let's start from your self-introduction. Tell us something about yourself.
Yes, Taki Soge.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Xandra, and I'm from Rwanda. I'm 22 years old, and now I'm here in Korea doing my undergraduate in industrial engineering.
Oh, wow. One of the smart ones.
Yes.
So can you repeat your name slower for the people that aren't basically me. I don't like getting people's names wrong, but I want to.
Okay. My name is Xandra, and I go by Xandra. So many people sometimes.
Is Xandra actually your family name, or is it your first name? But
my first name.
And in Rwanda, you just like Korea, you do last name, first name.
Yeah.
Okay. My curiosity ends there with the name.
Yes.
Like Anna had to also teach me hers, even though I still say her name kind of wrong for where she's from.
It's good. It's good. You're good, Kelsey. So, Xandra, how did you end up in Korea? What happened?
So, actually, I ended up here in Korea without any plans. I never planned to come here. But thanks to my friend's mom, knew about Korea and the universities. So she introduced us to this program. Okay. And we were just curious about it. And we applied through the program. And they took us in. And we had also to apply to the universities. So we had 3 choices. And we applied to those universities. And we got accepted. And basically, that's how I came.
Wait, so is this program like an exchange program, or is it a scholarship program, or?
It's a scholarship program, yes.
It's the Korean government scholarship program.
The same KGS?
Yes,
same
KGSP.
KGSP one.
We have KGSP people series kind of right now.
Yeah. But I think most of the foreign students I've met in Korea have been KGSP students. Well, most of the ones I've met. I'm not saying most of the ones that are here.
They're here for the longest period of time, so
that's probably true.
Yeah, especially the undergraduate ones.
Oh, yes. 5 years is not a short time.
So how long have you been here?
I've been here 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah. I'm now studying my 4th year, so...
Okay. So you started your degree back home and transferred here?
No, basically I finished my high school and I came here, and I did first the language school, and after I started my degree.
Okay. Cool.
So you didn't know much about Korea before coming here, right?
Honestly, I really knew nothing.
So what was your biggest culture shock until now?
I think my culture shock, like the biggest one that I faced here was around like when I went to my language school. I expected some welcoming, as in speaking in English to foreigners, but I didn't get that. So I was a little bit shocked. But also, I was shocked about how sometimes people, even though you know each other, but it's not their culture to say hi to people in like when you meet.
Yeah, I know what
And
you mean.
that really shocked me because back in Rwanda, even though you don't know each other, but if you face to each other and you look at each other, you have eye contact, you just say hi and you just keep on going.
Yeah, general greetings like that.
Yeah.
Jamaica is similar, where it's like if you're jogging, like at Hangang, if this was
Yeah.
Jamaica, you see somebody, you'd be like, nod your head
Yes.
or hi, or a small wave. In
Yes.
Korea, they'll just look right through you. And you're like,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, but they say hi when you go like hiking.
They do? I've never been
Yeah,
hiking
they
here.
do. They do. Like, I was really surprised because I was expecting what you are talking about, that I will not meet anybody who would say hi to me. But if you go hiking in Poland, like people would say hi to you, and that's normal. That's kind of culture.
Mhm.
But then I went, and some random 아저씨s were like, 안녕하세요. Like, oh, cool. 안녕하세요. And then, yeah, that's
I
happy
wonder
moment.
what it is about the hiking. Maybe it's, I think like a lot of the older people in Korea that hike, they do it for such a recreational and like stress relief purpose. They're just happy about it.
Yes.
Because honestly, outside of Seoul, it's not like super common, but you do get more greetings outside of Seoul. Like when you go to more southern places, like the last time I went to Busan, we met somebody from there, and they actually took us not so much in like the Haeundae area, but like further out into the rural areas, and people said hi to us all the time. It was kind of weird, but I thought because we looked like tourists, but I think it might be like a Seoul too busy for anything type of situation.
Okay. So, Xandra.
Yes.
More questions.
More questions. More questions.
I want to know because Korea has a certain set of countries where the majority of their foreigners come from. So when somebody goes, where are you from? And you say Rwanda, what is the first reaction you usually get from people?
I usually get like, oh, from London. So everyone at the first time, they think I'm from London. And I have to explain, no, not London, but Rwanda. So for them to really understand it, I have to say it in Korean or to explain like Rwanda in Africa, not London. So far I have got that so many times.
Oh, my goodness.
But I realize like even other people from my country, they always say that. So some of them, they just let them like, yeah. You're from London.
I was
Whatever.
like, we're not going through this again. Like I just did this with the taxi ajushi.
Yeah.
I totally get that because half of Korea thinks Jamaica is in Africa, so I just let them believe. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this today.
True.
Like, how far away, like traveling from like planes and stopovers, how far away is Rwanda from Korea?
So if you take like, I will give an example. If you take like Ethiopian airplane, you have to go around 16 hours
Oh.
without counting the waiting.
Oh.
So
For some reason, I thought because it was in the same hemisphere, it would have been like a shorter time. Like, where do you usually have to travel from?
first of all, we used to go until Hong Kong, and Hong Kong we stop for like 1 hour, and after we go to Addis Ababa, and from Addis Ababa we directly go to Rwanda. So it takes around like 16, 17 hours.
Oh.
Yeah. That's longer than I thought. How often do you go home?
I've been home twice now since I've come here. Yeah. Anna, where are you, sir?
Is that an I miss home sigh, Anna?
Yes. So much.
This season can do that to you because it's so
Yeah.
different, the feel. Even though my mother is telling me that back home it's Christmas isn't all that anymore, but like the Christmas I remember is so
Yes.
different from what Korea does. And it's Christmas is just way more about family in my home country than it is
Yeah.
here.
When
So-
was your last time to go home?
I haven't been home since I've been here. And I'm coming up on 4 years in March.
Wow.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my parents would kill me if I didn't go home for
See-
4 years.
There's like a battle raging amongst my parents because
Mm.
I know my mother misses me, but she's like the stronger one where she's like, you have a goal, get it done. Once you get like a more stable thing, you can come home and spend a month because then you'll go back. My mother knows if I go home right now, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna eat all the food and hug all my family and play with my dog.
Oh, yes.
But my father, every 2 days, my father messages me. So, you sure you can't come home? Not even for 2 weeks? You can't get some time off? When's your exam again?
Yeah.
So there's like, they're butting heads, and then they have me on 2 separate chats, plus 1 chat with my parents. But yeah, it's very expensive. And
Yes.
my mother knows if I go home, I'm not coming back here. So she's like, okay, you have to get your visa settled first. Then you can come home.
Oh, I have the same thing. Like, I have two fathers of yours in my home. Yes, my parents. Since I finished university, they're like, "When are you coming? When are you coming?" And I'm like, "I'm coming soon, but I don't know how soon." And yeah, all conversations are around this.
Yeah, those
Setting the time.
those parents are always fun. Where you're like, you can't want me home more than I want to go home right now. I dream of food from home. That's how bad it's gone for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I miss people more than food. I never miss food.
You mean like your family and friends, or just like the energy of the people in Rwanda versus Korea?
I think both.
Both.
Yeah.
Is there not a large community of Rwandans here?
There is, but they don't have so many undergraduates, so they are more older than us.
I understand that.
Yeah.
The Jamaican group is similar, but rather than just older, it's a lot of them are here in the U.S. Army, or so like they're Jamaican American, or they work in like Samsung. So they're not usually in Seoul. They're like in Suwon, like one of the companies that deal with like the engineering side of things. So usually it's like it's good to talk to those people because, you know, they speak the same way you do and understand the same jokes you do, but
Yes.
they live a completely different life from the student I'm trying to find work
Yeah.
group. I'm waiting on you to like come up with a question. No, come on.
Okay. I had a question, but I forgot. I wanted to ask you, is there anything in Korean culture or like in your life in Korea that it makes you feel like you are closer to home? Like, I don't know, any food or any event that happened that you were like, oh, that reminds me of home, but in a good way. Like, I feel closer to home, kind of.
I have to think about that. But I think before, like in my first year, one thing which really I found is similar to Rwanda was their like how they respect each other and how they have like this how can I say it? How they respect like
Hierarchy?
all people. So I related to that because even in Rwandan culture, even in the language, we have different way to speak to older people. So when I realized how they really respect like old people and everything, I felt really connected to them in that sense.
That's cool. That's probably one of the things that was my culture shock. The levels of language in Korea. English doesn't do that. Like English there are some ways to be more respectful in English, but they're more like undercover ways.
Yes.
Like rather than saying hi to somebody who's older than you, you could say good day or good morning. But they don't teach you that as this is casual. This is respectful.
Yes.
True.
And this is more respectful.
Yeah.
So use it for these people and not for these people.
I remember I tried to tell my friend that once because I was helping her with a business email and she said hi. And I go, don't do that. And she goes, why not? Everybody says hi. And I go, that's something you say to your friends. She goes, no, we use that in business too. And I go, that's not proper English. And she's just like, but English doesn't have like structure like that. I go, there's a difference between hi, hello, and good morning. There are 3 different levels of respect in English, but English has like, they don't really teach you that. It's like you kind of just know if you, at least in cultures like Jamaica, if you go up to your grandmother and say hi, she's going to kind of backhand you real quick, like you forgot your place. Like, who are you talking to? And you're like, oh, sorry. Good morning, Grandma.
Really?
Yeah. So I know, like, for the U.S., it's a lot more casual, which is probably what Koreans think it is. But in countries like Jamaica, we learned British English, and we learned older systems of British English. So we continuously learn what they left during slavery.
Oh.
Oh, wow. That's
So-
interesting.
So I think my friend said it's the same thing for Spanish. She's Argentinian, and she says the Spanish she learned is closer to the Spanish Spain spoke in the 1800s. And what they speak now, they've modernized. So it's kind of similar for the English system in Jamaica.
It's interesting. We don't have this. Like, I mean, we have some way to speak with respect to people in Polish, but when I think about Korean or Japanese, because I was studying Japanese before, like, it's nothing.
Yeah, the lines are just way more clear in
Yes.
these kind of languages. I have one more question.
Yes.
What is the number one thing you would like people to know about Rwanda?
It's weather. Like the weather, people think because we are in Africa, like a lot of countries in Africa, they are super hot.
Yeah.
But like Rwanda has this special weather that I miss so much.
Is it like 4 seasons type weather, or is just like a flow of how the year goes?
The flow. Because it's like we never have this like high, like the time where we're really so hot or the time of like that extreme coldness. We are always in the middle. And if we hit like really the highest coldness, it's like nothing. It's only dry, sunny, but after experiencing other weather, you just realize that it's nothing.
Yeah.
Even though people who are there, they're like, oh, it's so hot. But after like experiencing other countries, it's nothing. It's totally okay. So I always tell people like, oh, if there is something that you can enjoy if you come, in Rwanda is the weather there. So before, other foreigners used to tell us that, because I went to this kind of international high school, so we had like people from other countries. So they used to really like the weather, and every time talking about it, but we never recognize it. I never recognized it until I came here.
And then you spent the last year in Korea with summers where you couldn't take a deep breath and winters where you're afraid to take a deep breath.
Yes.
That means like the winter here right now must be like really bad for you, right?
Now I got used to, but yeah, it's really cold here.
What's the number one thing you like in Korea?
I would say their food. I really like Korean food, and I like the way they have this menu where people can share like this.
Oh, like one pot.
Yeah, one pot for like 2 people. I really like that culture because it helps. I think it helps people to get together. So I think if I may say, I will say food and some view, like outside view of Korea. I really like how it looks.
Nice.
So do you want to stay here after you finish your university? Like, have you thought about it? Because you said this is your 4th year.
Yeah, but I still have like 3 semesters because it's my 4th year, but I got 1 year for like 1 year and a half for Korean language. So I still have 3 semesters to go, and so far now, I think I would like to go to another country.
Oh, not back home, just somewhere else to travel to.
Yes,
To do your master's or just for traveling?
to work.
Oh,
No, somebody's excited for working life.
well,
Yeah.
you're in the right field to pretty much go anywhere and
Anywhere.
work.
Yeah,
Like engineering.
Europe is open to you
Yeah.
with engineering. Seriously,
Or,
I
anywhere.
hope so.
okay, countries like Germany will send you to school for free over that as long as you promise to
Yes.
stay in a specific company for
Oh,
like
they
3 or 4
told me
years.
that.
Yeah.
So you are definitely on the right track. Take me with you.
Yeah.
Because he's like, take me with you. But in my head, I'm like, why I was studying Korean studies again?
No.
And Kelsey, what are you studying?
Well, I graduated in February, but I did an undergrad back home in economics and statistics, and then I did my master's, an MBA here in finance.
That's great.
It's great, and Korea is a perfect market to have financial analysts, except the language they speak.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to get my Korean up, and then I have to get my business Korean on par. And then, so maybe when I'm 45,
Oh
I
my
can finally become a financial analyst in Seoul. But I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Until then. Okay, so we're gonna close out the free talk segment with
Yes.
a fire round. So we're gonna list 2 categories each where we're just gonna say it to you, and the first thing that pops into your head regarding your country, you have to just fire it off. No thinking, just first thing. Okay, so should I start?
Yes.
Okay. What is the number one food that represents your country?
I would say there is this food called isombe. It's like cassava leaves that we cook. So I think that one will be among the fast. It won't be like the first, but it will be among the fast food which can be which can be representative.
Is it like sweet, savory? How do you guys cook it? Leaves.
So it's like we take those cassava leaves and we make it like in powder. Not exactly like powder. So it depends on which type did you take. But for the powder one, you just cook it with meat and you boil it
Oh, okay.
and you put different. It's not even that traditional, but we have this ingredient that we add in, and yeah, it takes time to be cooked.
Also, it's a slow cook thing.
Yeah, it's like a slow cook thing.
Cool.
Okay. So the other thing, the best place to visit. Like the first place that comes to my mind. If I go to Rwanda, where should I go?
Would I ask in which categories? Because we have different places, good places, but it depends on what you want to do.
Okay, so let's say for natural landscape or
Natural rest, relaxation time.
Yes.
There is this province called Gisenyi. It has a lake,
Oh.
and people usually come and goes there because it's nice and you can experience nature, and there is a nice beach and nice hotels. So I think for rain first time, I would suggest there.
Okay.
But if it's so popular, are there many people there?
So Rwanda is really small, so we don't have to.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, so if I want to listen to modern music from Rwanda, who is the first artist that comes to your mind? Rwandan artist.
Oh wow! There is one called Medi.
Mehdi?
Yeah.
Why does that sound so familiar? Oh no. I know somebody with that
Cool.
name.
So I would say that one. Nowadays, he doesn't have those many a lot of songs these days, but you could listen to him and listen to his Asian songs. It's kind of modern, and I will give another new singer called Wea. She's like young and going up so really quickly. And I think by listening to her album, some of the songs will give you that mood of like Rwandan and modern songs.
Okay.
Okay, so the last thing is, I'm really curious about like movies in Rwanda. Do you produce a lot of this kind of?
They are, but that industry really, it's still not that open, developed. So many people, especially young people now, are moving up. Like they are really doing so many movies.
Mm-hmm.
But since it's not yet developed and they don't have those developed studio and everything, I think it's not yet out on the market. Like people can't really know about them, but yeah, there are movies going out now.
So give us one title
One title.
of some movie.
Wow. Me myself, I don't watch them. There was one, I really don't remember the title, but it had like something love inside,
Okay.
like Battle of Love. If I translate it,
Okay. Okay.
Little
Time to
stories.
Google something.
I will Google and I will send you the link.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's move on to our next segment. So we don't have the question of the week, right?
Not this week.
Not this week. So we decided, since it's our last recording in 2018, we will do the piggyback on last year, on this year, still this year. So leaving
Blank.
blank in 2018 trend.
So basically, habits, people, trends, memes, whatever it is, like if you think it's something people need to stop, they should not do it going forward. Even if it's something you think yourself, like you would like to stop in next year, we're going to discuss that. So,
Xandra.
So for me, one thing that I wish I would stop in 2019, and I think it really goes to a lot of people, is thinking too much about everything.
That's something for me.
right? That hit me right here in the heart.
Yeah.
Hurts so much.
So I think like I would really wish to stop that and live the moment, like each moment by moment and step by step, and enjoy 2019.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
How about you, Kelsey?
So I think I'm going to leave my philosophical ones for the second round. My first one is, I'm very sorry to all my Korean listeners out there. But this also goes for some foreigners. Can we stop wearing makeup when it's obvious that you have a line of demarcation between the mask you've created and your actual skin tone? And we're not doing that in 2019. We're going to stop doing that.
Oh, yes.
I've
please.
started the process of hurting my Korean friends' feelings that anytime they come around me and there is a mask that they've drawn on with makeup and I see their neck is different from their face,
Yes.
tell them they don't look good.
Yes.
I've started hurting feelings and I'm going to do it next year. We're going to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
It
I'm
just
supporting you on that.
I don't know why it became a thing. Well, I kind of do, where, you know, the aspiration to lighter skin tone, but it's just when you're like my skin tone and you have Anna's makeup on your face, that just doesn't work. We're not doing that next year.
Yeah. Let's stop.
What about you, Anna? What's something you're not doing in 2018? In 2019?
There are a lot of things that comes to my mind, but I agree with Sandra. Not overthinking my life would be good for my mental state. The other thing is 2019 probably will bring a lot of changes to my life, including going to Poland, hopefully.
Oh,
Going back.
I'm jealous already.
So there will be a lot of craziness going on since, from tomorrow, actually. 2019 is right around the corner. So.
It is. It's a couple hours away for us. at least.
Yes.
Oh, God. Like, I feel like when I was younger, these changes, like a year change or you getting older on a birthday, was so much bigger. And now I'm like, I get to rest tomorrow, and then the day after I have to go to work.
Yes. The reality.
Okay, I'll give my philosophical, my non-jokey answer now. So in 2019, what we're gonna be doing, or let me phrase it back this way. What we're leaving in 2018 is inconsistency. Me personally, especially with like mental health and work, I've allowed a lot of external things to stop me from doing what I've planned to do, or be like, oh, I'm too stressed, I'm too tired, I'm not going to learn this thing I told myself I was going to learn, or I'm not going to go to the gym when I told myself I was going to go to the gym. That I will have to leave, and hope my friends also, because I know they've been going through similar struggles, leave in 2018. Like, it's going to be the year of progress, moving forward, and building on self in 2019.
I totally agree with that. Like, for me also, 2018 was year of total craziness. But there were also things that I said, oh, I will do this, I will do that. And then you get into job seeking and graduating and all of that stuff. And now it's the end of the year. And I was like, where are all of those things that I was supposed to do?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's time to stop that. It's time to say, I'm going to do this and just start doing it right away. Not wait.
I will do it next month is not a thing. I'm going to start doing this right now. That's what we're going to do.
That's so true.
Okay. Are we ready for the last segment?
We are. Our favorite segment.
Our favorite segment. Now it's time to close out with the recommended song of the week.
Remember, if you would like to send in a recommendation, send us an email at libridgeglobal@gmail.com or drop us a comment wherever comment can be made. So Anna, this week, give it to us. Your song of the week.
I'll give you. I'm ready. So as always, I'm giving something from musical scene. And this week, it's gonna be Lion King. Because January starts tomorrow. And I'm going to see Lion King in like 19 days. So I'm so excited. And yesterday, I remembered that there are these 2 awesome videos on YouTube. You guys can check it out later. If you just type Circle of Life, Broadway, flash mob, or something similar, you will see 2 videos. One video, they went to the subway and they performed Circle of Life, like in the middle of the subway on the way. And the second one is on the plane. And for me, it's so amazing. Personally, one of my dreams is to be a part of such thing in the future.
A flash mob?
Yeah, like singing flash mob with a song like Circle of Life that everybody knows. Like, even if you don't want, you know that song. So
that's true.
That will be it. Like, I just recommend the Circle of Life from the Lion King musical and check out the flash mob of Broadway cast because it's awesome. And that's it. Kelsey, how about you?
So, for the last couple weeks, it's been high hope type music. Like, we're gonna get there, we're gonna prosper. And I was like, how do I break that? Like, how do I change that? But I still want to keep that same spirit. This week, I come at you with a Korean song.
Oh!
Ooh. My song, okay, so I had, even though before in previous episodes I've mentioned, I did not come here for K-pop.
Yes.
But I have had stints of, oh, this K-pop is kind of okay since the being here. And I've had friends who have been into K-pop. So one of those periods was when GD dropped his Red and Black album. And recently, I was like, oh, there were a couple songs I liked on that. Let me download them. One of which was Coup d'etat.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And if nothing else in that whole entire song, just the fact that he starts off the song by saying, this is my coup d'etat, which is kind of what I want 2019 to be.
Oh, yes.
I want it to be my breakout. I want it to be that change, that revolution. In the song, he legitimately says the revolution is here. And this 2019 isn't going to be my revolution. So my song for this week is GD's beautifully produced song, Coup d'etat.
Xandra, we are not skipping your segment. Please tell us.
I thought that will skip me.
No, you're part of this too.
Not a chance.
Do you have a song you would like to recommend for us and the listeners?
So one of the songs they gave me this morning, and I really liked it so much, was this song called Highs and Lows. I don't know if you heard about it. It's by Hillsong.
I think I heard it before somewhere, but I don't remember the melody even.
So it's really one of the songs which just bumped in my head because they suggested to me this morning, and I really like that song after listening to it. I think it has nice lyrics, like encouraging lyrics.
Okay. We're going to check it out before next year starts.
I always
few
need
hours.
to add songs to my encouraging lyrics list, so
That one.
I will check it out. I've already have a tab open with it, so it's ready to go. Okay, so as mentioned before, we're losing a host. Cry a couple tears with me, guys, because I want to be alone. But Anna will be leaving us.
Yes.
And I know it will be for bigger and better things. Oh, I wanted to give Anna a moment just to say anything she wants to say. Bye. So long. Peace. I'm out.
Bye. I would just want to say that doing this podcast and being here with you, Kelsey, was an amazing experience, and I wish I could come back here and continue this with you, but since I cannot, at least for now, I just want to say good luck, and I know you can do it. I hope you'll get some person to get along with here.
Just wait. One of these days, Anna and I are gonna form a coup. It's gonna be our coup d'etat. And
Yes.
we're gonna start our own.
Another podcast.
The Revolution podcast is here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's it.
So we'd like to thank you, Xandra, for coming
Yeah,
and
thank you, Sandra.
talking with us today.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so it's time to close. Thanks for joining us this week. If you are listening on YouTube or SoundCloud, leave us a comment, even if it's just to say hi.
If you would like to be a part of our podcast as a guest or have any suggestions about what you would like to hear, send us an email at thebridgeglobal@gmail.com.
Bye.